This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. In this Business Intelligence Master Program, so this is our 33rd session. In this session, we are going to see load data from on-premise file system to the data lake storage Gen2. See, on-premise depends on your project, depends on client where he is maintaining data. Data may be there in a file system, data may be there in an on-premise SQL server, your data may be there in some FTP servers, your data may be there in Salesforce, right? So your data can be there anywhere. So we will cover, so we already covered what we have covered. We have covered how you can copy data from on-premise SQL server to the cloud. Maybe we have seen how to load it into Azure Synapse, how to load it into data lake storage Gen2. So in the same way, today we are going to discuss how you can copy, if you have any files in file system, how you can copy these files into data lake storage Gen2. Here we have a multiple files in different folders. How you can able to copy these different folders into the data lake storage Gen2. So that's what we are going to see in today's session. Okay. Okay. So in today's session we will learn scenarios and what is on-premise file system, okay, estimations, prerequisite, required resources. Then we know demo. So we will see how to set up on-premise file system, how to create ADLS Gen2, install self-hosted IR, create Azure Data Factory V2. So here we are going to install self-hosted IR today as well because it's an on-premise file system. Next, create ADLS Gen2 linked service with the key vault using integration runtime. In the same way, we are going to create the file system. Okay, we are going to create the linked service for file system with key vault using integration runtime. Then we will see create data sets, create pipeline. We will run a pipeline with a trigger and we will monitor the pipeline. Okay, so these are the things we are going to do. Now you understood something. So again, we need to install the self-hosted, meaning we need to create the mission. Okay, what we are doing is we are not installing any self-hosted IR in our local mission. Every time we are creating virtual mission. Inside virtual mission, we are setting up on-premise SQL server, or if it is a file system, we need to set up the file system also inside virtual mission. So what I will do now, I will go and create the virtual mission, which okay, which can be it no need to be like the server like you have created virtual mission yesterday. That virtual mission is already having SQL server. You can create normal SQL server, right? So you no need to go with SQL like Windows mission where you have SQL server installed. It's not mandatory. You can create any virtual mission. From any virtual mission file system, you can able to get the data. But yesterday and the day before yesterday, we have created a virtual mission where we have SQL server installed. The reason is we don't want to install SQL server separately again, right? So that's why. Because in real time, already SQL servers will be available. Okay, client will install and they are maintaining the data. So you just have to bring the data. Same thing we replicated. Today we are going to connect to the file system. So as we know, so if we want to create a virtual mission, it is going to take more time. So what I will do is I will go and create all the required resources now. So by the time those resources got deployed, what we will do, we will go through the remaining slides. So but what all services we need, you try to understand here. We need a on-premise file system, meaning virtual mission. Next, I need to load this data in a data lake storage Gen2. So who is going to copy data from on-premise file system to the data lake storage Gen2? So Azure Data Factory. So I need a Azure Data Factory. Then I need to store my username password securely. Then I need to create a key vault. Okay. So finally, to handle error, to handle failure scenarios and all those things, we need to have a like basically where we are going to maintain all this metadata information, how many folders we have, from what all folders we need to pick the data. All these things we will put it in a metadata table. And in case if it is a fail, or I want to update the status, success status or failure status in my metadata, so I need a stored procedure. To maintain a metadata table, to maintain stored procedure, we are going to maintain a RDBMS system. That is nothing, the Azure SQL database I will create. But in every project, remember, you will have at least one RDBMS system. That can be Azure Synapse, that can be Azure SQL database, that can be anything. But you know, Azure Synapse is a little bit costly, so I will go and create the Azure SQL database to maintain the metadata table and the stored procedure. Okay, so I need total 5 services. Now you understood virtual mission. Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Azure Data Factory, Keyword, and finally Azure SQL Database. Okay, let's go and create all those things and I will come back. Okay, I am in the portal. Let's create the virtual machine. Click on virtual machine. Let's click add, click virtual machine. One second. Okay, friends. So now let's create a first, so we are going to the free trial and resource group. I'm going to say Cloud Pandit. Okay, BI Master Program. Click OK. Then you see your virtual mission name. I will say it's a Cloud Pandit VM. East US, no infrastructure, public. Okay, just browse all the images. So based on the image, what type of Windows server you want? You want a Windows server which has SQL server installed, or you want some other servers installed? Okay, depends on that. You need to search. So let's say I want to go with the same virtual machine. So it's not mandatory that you need to go with the same virtual machine, but let's imagine I'm going with the same virtual machine. In same virtual machine also you can able to set up the file system. File system is nothing but a drive, friends. We have C drive, D drive, right? So if you have any files in C drive or D drive, how you can move those files? Okay, let's say here we are going with this, right? Click on this, select this image which we are selecting every day. So it came. Right. So now let's enter username and password. Let me enter username, password. Okay, so I will just click review plus create. The reason is I am not connecting to the SQL server today. Okay, that is not required. That's why I'm not enabling SQL authentication and all those things. Let's simply create this virtual machine. Okay, it's a 12 rupees per hour file. Validation succeeded. You can create it. Now come here. Let's create portal.azure.com. Our target, what is our target? Storage account. Go to storage account. Let's create here data lake storage Gen2. Okay, click add to create the data lake storage Gen2. Okay, free try. A resource group, you can say Cloud Pandit BI master program. Here I will say my storage and Cloud Pandit ADLS Gen2 storage. Okay, so Cloud Pandit ADLS V2 store. Okay, this is East US. I'm launching in East US. It should be V2 if you want to create a data lake storage Gen2. And next thing you need to do is in advanced option, you need to enable the hierarchical namespace. So once you enable this, then click review plus create. Then create it. So this is how you are going to create the storage account. Okay, now click here. So our third service is to copy data from file system to the data lake storage Gen2. We need a Azure Data Factory. Let's open portal.azure.com. Let's create here Azure Data Factory. Click on Data Factories. Click Add to create the Data Factory. So resource group. This is the resource group. ADF I will create Cloud Pandit BI ADF V2. Okay, so if the name is already available, let's take today date 12/05. Okay, this should be available. Click Git configuration and configure it later. Click Review plus create. Running final validation. Create it. Okay. Now our fourth one. So here let's say portal.azure.com. What else we need, friends? To securely store our credentials, we need to create the Azure keyword. Okay, I will just go and create the Azure keyword here. Okay. Azure keyword, search for keywords here. Click on this. Click add. Free trial. And the resource group is Cloud Pandit BI Master Program. Keyword name, you just say Cloud Pandit AKB 1205. This is available. Click access policies. So I need to add my data factory name here. Just click add access policies. So I want to give full permissions to my data factory. Then click selected. What is my data factory name? My data factory name is Cloud Pandit ADF V2 today date 1205. Okay, it's not like this. I think what is the name I have given? Go to inputs. Here you will see the data factory name. See, this is the data factory name. 1205. Cloud Pandit BI ADF. Okay, this is the one. Just click select. Okay, come down. Add this particular data factory. Click review plus play. Okay. So your Azure keyword also going to deploy now. Let's click create. So what is final thing that we need? We need a SQL database. Just click on portal.azure.com. So we need a Azure SQL database, but in real-time project, maybe you or maybe in your project people are using Azure Synapse, then you need to create a metadata in Azure Synapse. If people are using Azure SQL database, then you need to use the Azure SQL database. Okay. Very rarely people will use SQL database and SQL data warehouse, but mostly we'll have one of these. Okay, fine. Now what we need is we need a SQL database. Click on SQL database. Let's click add to create the SQL database. Free trial. Resource group is this. Database name I will say Cloud Pandit SQL DB. Server. Let's click on create new server. I can say Cloud Pandit SQL server. Username and just entering. Says password. The password is matched. So I'm launching in East US. Remaining things, just click review plus create. Okay, click create. So this is also deployed. Now you see virtual machine is creating. Then your what is this? Your storage is already created. Data factory also created. You check it. It should be created by now. Yes, it is created. Azure keyword, it is also available. It is taking time. Okay, fine. But Azure SQL database also we deployed. Everything we deployed. Let's go and discuss those slides, and we will come back for the lab. Okay, fine. So these are the things we are going to learn. Let's say scenarios. You see, today we will see copying multiple folders data from on-premise file system to the ADLS Gen2. Let's say in a drive, you have created a main folder called Cloud Pandit. Inside Cloud Pandit, you are going to maintain all the Cloud Pandit data. Let's say batch 1 information, batch 2 information, batch 3 information, batch 4 information, something like that. All the 5 or 6 folders, but in real time you have hundreds of folders, right? So but here let's say you are just creating 4 or 5 folders. Now I want to bring data from those respective folders and put it in a data lake storage Gen2. So that's what I want to do. Next one, so to connect to the on-premise, we need to set up the self-hosted IR. Okay, we will see how to do that. Then we need to see how you can connect to the on-premise from on-premise to the cloud. Okay, how we will connect? By registering the self-hosted integration with Azure Data Factory key that we already have done. Then we will see how to handle failure scenarios. You have seen, right? So yesterday, if we have three, like out of 5 tables, if 3 tables succeeded, 2 got failed, in next on those 2 also will run. If these 2 also succeeded, as all the 5 tables got succeeded, now it will reset the status back to ready. How to load only failure folders from second execution? This I have shown you yesterday. In the same way, today we are going to see how to load only failure folders from second execution. Next, we will see how to maintain metadata. So as we mentioned, today we are going to maintain our metadata in SQL database. Okay. Self-hosted integration runtime. As you know, self-hosted integration runtime use infrastructure and hardware managed by we. We are going to manage infrastructure and hardware, and installation, maintenance, patching, scaling, everything you need to take care, and you need to pay to the Microsoft the time that you have used this self-hosted IR with Azure Data Factory. So in a linked service, you will attach this particular self-hosted IR and you will use it with Azure Data Factory. So how much time you have used, based on that much time you need to make a payment. Self-hosted integration runtime can access resources in both public and private network. So same self-hosted IR you can use to access the any data which you have in cloud, any data which you have in the private. Both things you can able to do it with self-hosted IR. But if you have a Azure IR, you can able to access only data which is there in a public network. Okay. Next, self-hosted integration runtime works like a gateway. So it is a kind of a gateway between the private and the public network. You install the integration runtime on a mission inside the private network, then it can communicate with the Azure Data Factory. How it can communicate with the Azure Data Factory? You need to register the self-hosted IR with Azure Data Factory key. That's what we have done, right? Fine. Overview diagram. As you know, whenever you are moving, it can be table from database or it can be file system to the database. Whenever you're moving something from on-premise to cloud, what type of IR we need to use? Self-hosted IR. Even when you are moving some files from your virtual network inside virtual machine to the cloud, you need to use a self-hosted IR. This is what we are going to do. We are going to create a virtual machine. We created already virtual machine. Inside this virtual machine, I will maintain some CSV files. Those CSV files, I will move it into the cloud. In cloud, which storage we are moving? Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2. Into Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2, we will move these files. Okay. For this, we need to use self-hosted IR. The remaining things we discussed in detail. Fine. Setting up on-premise to cloud connection. You know, we have a on-premise here. Here we have a cloud. In on-premise, I will create a VM. In this VM, we'll have a file system. Then to connect to this file system from cloud, we need to install the integration runtime. Then we need to register this particular IR with the key. Okay, register IR with cloud key. What is that cloud key? You need to get it from the Azure Data Factory. So once you get that key from Azure Data Factory and register here, the connection will establish between the Azure Data Factory and this particular integration runtime. Okay, so then I will have a file system. I can able to, by using Azure Data Factory, I can able to connect to this file system and load the files into the my data lake storage Gen2. Okay, clear friends? I think this should not be 1 second. Okay, now you see friends, setting up on-premise to cloud connection. So we have a on-premise, then we have a cloud. Okay, so in on-premise, I will like we already created the VM, right? So VM is, it's nothing but it is on-premise. Okay, inside VM, I will set up the file system and I will install the integration runtime. Then I need to register this IR with the cloud key. What is that cloud key? That cloud key I need to get it from the Azure Data Factory. Then I can able to establish the connection. Then what I need to do, I have a Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2 here. So I need to bring the files from on-premise file system to the Data Lake Storage Gen2. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Okay, fine. So data flow diagram, you know, you have lookup activity, okay, which is going to look up on the metadata table. It will give you the source folders and the destination folders. Next, this information I will pass it to the for each activity by using like this particular dynamic content. It will pass all these 4 items. So all these 4 items already available or not, I will check it by using get metadata activity. Then I will open a key called exist. This exist parameter will go and check whether the source folder, cust, EMP, sales, order is available or not. It will check, and that result it will send it to the if activity. If activity will check whether exist parameter returned to true or false. If it is returned to true, it will execute true activities. If it is written false, it will execute false activities. If it is written true, I will use inside true activity, I will use copy activity to copy data from on-premise file system to the data lake storage Gen2. If it is succeeded, I will update my metadata table saying that this particular folder successfully loaded into data lake storage Gen2. If it is failed, I will just update the status as failed. Okay, next one I am going to pick only the failure tables. Okay, so example, let's say first table cust. Okay, first table is cust. Let's imagine this cust table. I will pass get metadata will check this cust folder is available or not in an on-premise file system. If this cust folder is available, it will return true, and that true value it will check. If condition evaluates to true, if exist parameter is true, then it will execute the copy activity. If copy activity succeeded, then it will execute the success story procedure. Next, you will take EMP folder. If EMP folder is not available, let's imagine it will return false. That false value I will send it to the if activity. If activity evaluates to false. If it is false, I will just use wait activity something. Next, I will just go with the sales folder. If the sales folder is exist parameter returns true. That true value I will send it here. If exist parameter return true, this if condition also evaluates to true. If it is a true means I will execute true activities, copy activity success to the failure stories. Finally, orders. Just I will pass orders folder. Order folder is not exist. Let's imagine order folder is not exist. Then it will return false. That false I will check here in if condition. So if condition evaluates to false, if it is evaluates to false, then wait activity will execute. Okay. So this is the our data flow diagram. We'll see copy data from file system to ADLS Gen2. We have a file system. In file system, I have a one folder. Let's imagine we have data like storage Gen2. Now what I need to do, I need to connect to the file system. Then I need to create a data set to read this particular folder data. This data I want to copy. So where you want to copy, destination, output, I need to define. So in which folder you want to load it into data like storage Gen2. That particular folder, if I want to access, I need to create a linked service to data like storage Gen2. Okay, so once I have done everything successfully, if I execute this particular inside particular folder, this custard.csv file will be loaded. Okay, now who is going to do? It's a on-premise, this is the cloud, so self-hosted IR is going to do. So who is going to manage all these things? Seju Data Factory, as you know. Okay, metadata table. See here, create table metadata. Source folder is not a table, it's a folder. The source folder is varchar 50, destination folder is varchar 50, disable equal to in, status equal to varchar 50. Let's say sometimes what happens, some of the folders may not receive the data. So client will tell you, okay, this folder will not get the new data. Don't copy this particular folder. Can you disable? You need to come and update in your metadata table. Now I will insert first EMP record EMP folder, whatever data I have in EMP folder, that whatever data I have inside EMP folder, all the data I will put it in a EMP output folder. In the same way, product folder, whatever data I have, that data I will load it into product output folder. In the same way, cost, sales, and orders. So respective folders data I will load it into respective folders in the data lake storage Gen2. Okay, it's a inactive means this particular table we don't need to consider. Okay, fine. Now stored procedure. So create a procedure. This is a metadata usp status table. So based on this you need to pass. Okay, status means let's say custom folder successfully loaded, then it's a status is succeeded. This table is nothing but a folder name. Folder name is going to be folder name is going to be success. Sorry, folder name is going to be cust, status is going to be success. So here what happens, update metadata set status equal to success, where source table equal to that cust is the your folder name. So source folder equal to cust. Okay, something like that you are going to do it. So this second update query, what it is going to reset the status for all the folders if all folders are successfully loaded into data lake storage Gen2. Clear? Next. So estimation.
Monday,
Hmm?
sorry for the interruption. So we're talking about individual files or a file list of files under the folder,
Yes, list
under
of
one
the
particular
files
folder.
under the cust folder, under the sales folder, under the product table, under the product folder.
Okay. So there can be multiple files under those folders,
Yes,
right?
you
Each
can have
folder.
multiple files. That also I will show you. So previously we have seen to copy files from blob to blob or blob to data lake storage. I did not remember. So in the same way, today we are going to do it from the on-premise. Last
Okay.
time I have shown you, right? So we have created a multiple folders. I think when I was explaining a tumbling window, I have shown you, right? How you can pick the different data from multiple folders. So in this way we are going to do today. Clear, Parmesh?
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So estimation. Now you see how many linked service we need. One linked service for file system, one linked service for ADLS Gen2. How many data sets? Depends on reference points. We need to create a data sets. Activities. One activity, one copy activity I will use to copy data from file system to the data lake storage Gen2. But when we have a multiple files, lookup for each all those things we need to use. How many pipelines? One pipeline. What type of fire we are going to use? Remember, self-hosted integration on time I'm going to use. Okay, clear. Prerequisite. So you need to understand file system. You understood it's a drive, simply a C drive or D drive, right? So it's a drive. What is data lake storage Gen2? Already you know. What is Azure SQL database? You know. What is Key Vault? What is schedule trigger? Data factory, integration runtime and types, linked service data set, activities and piping. So you are aware of all these things, right? So required resources are file system. So file system, for that we created the virtual machine, and data lake storage we have created already in the cloud. Azure SQL database I created, keyword we created, and Azure Data Factory V2 also we created. So these are the required resources that we already created, right? So that's all the slides I have. Let's go and do the demo file. First thing is, as you know, first go to our on-premise. We need to set up. Go to resource. So I need to connect to this machine. How to connect? Take the public IP. Come here. Remove desktop. Just paste that IP address here. Click connect. Just click yes. Okay. Okay. So it says server manager. Click no. So we know in server manager, first thing that we need to do is we need to turn off the security enhancement settings. Come to local server. IE enhanced security configuration. Click on or off. Let's turn off these things. This is first step. So let's close this. That's all. Now what you need to do, just click on this. Okay, here you see this PC. You have C drive, D drive, F and G drive, right? So let's go to the C drive. Here I will just say create a new folder called Cloud Pandit. Okay, I will create a here folder called Cloud Pandit. Okay, go inside. I will create multiple folders here. Okay, click new. It's a cust. Okay, you just say cust one folder. Let's say this is cust2. This you can say cust3. Okay, cust 4. So something like that. I have a 4 folders inside this particular cloud. Okay. Now let me get the files from the my local machine. That is go inside this files. Let me just copy all these files. Let's put here. I'm just copying everything to here. Okay. So there is no limit, sir. Okay. So here you see cust1.csv, cust2.csv, cust3.csv, all these things I have. So what I will do, I will maintain 2 files in this. Let's do one thing. Let's put only 1 file in this folder. Let's bring all those things to here. Here also I will just keep only 1. What I will do, I'll just pick these 2 and I will put it here. Okay. Now let me show you what we have in each folder. In this one file we have cust1.csv. In cust2 we have a cust2.csv. In third folder we have 2 files, cust3.csv, cust6.csv. It depends. Some folders may have a multiple files. Some folders may have a single file. Now you see in this fourth you have a 4 and 5.csv. This is clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Parmesh, clear? Avinash, Murli?
Yeah, Malaya, clear. Thank you.
Clear, Malaya.
Okay, thank you. So now you see this is the way we have cust1, cust2, cust3, cust4. These are the 4 folders we have. Okay. Now that's all you need to do. Okay, you have created the folders, you put the some files, but in real time client people, they will load the files into these respective folders. As a Edu Data Factory developer, once these files are available, you need to pick those files. Okay, next. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. We need to install the self-hosted area. Just click on Internet Explorer. Ask me later. Click here. Download integration runtime. Click on download Microsoft integration runtime. Come down, click download. Select this. Select this. Click next. You need to allow once from Microsoft. You need to allow this download. So then you are telling, so download it and run. I don't want to simply download and save somewhere. I want to run it. Just click run. So it will download and it will start installing as well. Okay, both things will happen at once. If you want to download, if you want to see the download status, click on this, view downloads. I don't know why this is disabled, but you should be able to see. Anyhow, it is not going to install, don't worry. See, it is showing view downloads, right? See, it is already preparing for installation, right? So preparing to install it, it is downloaded and the installation is ready. Click next, accept the terms and license, next, install it. So now you know we were seeing this installation since last few days. So installation will happen. Meanwhile, what we need to do, we will go and bring the Edu Data Factory key. Okay, come here, click go to resource, click author and monitor. Okay, come to Here manage tab, click on integration on tab, click new. We need to create the self-hosted. It says self-hosted here. Click continue. This is the self-hosted. Click continue. All these things we were doing since last 1 week, right? So here this is a cloud funded self-hosted IR. If type is self-hosted, just click create. So we have seen by taking key 1, key 2, anything will work, right? Just take some key. I copied key 1, go here. So it is still installing. Once installation is finished, you can register this IR with that particular key.
This IR creation taken care by whom, sir? DevOps team or like is there any separate team is there like infra team?
Yesterday you have not attended, sir, class.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yesterday was not.
So yesterday we discussed the same thing. So
Mhm.
this will be managed by your infra team, but as a developer, this is mandatory that you also should aware. Because
Yeah.
if some linked service is not working, you should be able to understand the issue with integration on time or issue with your credentials or issue with some other thing, those service, right? So whatever dependence we have, all those dependency things you need to understand.
Okay. Sir. Okay. Sir.
Then click finish. So now we need to register this with the key which we have copied. Click register. Okay, click finish. Click launch configuration manager. You see it is connected to cloud services now. Okay, just let me come out. Click close. Click refresh here. You will see it's running now. It is running fine. Now next thing is this is okay. On-premise everything is fine. So on-premise setup is completed. Now we go to the target. Our target is data lake storage Gen2. Okay, click on containers. Okay, just be here because I don't want to create any containers manually. Okay, everything will be created by ADF. Okay, this is ADF open. Here Azure Key Vault. I will store the Azure Key Vault keys. Data, like database, we will go to database and we will create here stored procedure, and we will create the metadata table. Okay, first set server firewall, add client IP, turn on this, then save it. Once you save, come back. First open Azure Data Studio. Okay, meanwhile it opens. You just take the server name. This is the server name. Copy this server name. Let's go to
Malaya, instead of going outside and opening application, here also connect with option is there, right? There you can connect. There it is there. Azure, there you can connect. That only it will come. Server name and everything. Launch now option download. Launch now.
no, both are same, no?
But
Both are,
if you cannot copy the server name and that default storage, everything it will come automatically. You can enter only password and username.
Okay.
Some redundancy will.
See, first thing is you need to download and install. After download and install, you can just use however you want to use. Okay. That is it. Okay, just enter your username and password. Both are same, friends. Okay, don't confuse. Both are same. Click connect. Okay, fine. All these things. Close it. Okay. So here I connected to my SQL DB. Okay. What I wanted to do now. 1 second. Okay. Okay, fine, friends. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, Malaya.
Right.
Can
Yes,
hear
Malaya.
you.
So now, yeah. So right click on this. Click on new query. So I am here. So what I will do, let's create the metadata table, and we need to create the stored procedure. Okay, let's check the tables. Here you see I don't have any table. You just check programmability. I don't have any stored procedures as well. Okay, fine. Let's create a metadata. I have that metadata information in my notepad. Let's take it here. Come here. So you remember we have a source folders and destination folders, whether it's a disabled or not, is active or not. It's a basically is active or not. If you, so I'm just going to change all of these things. You see, as per today requirement. Okay, this is source folder, the destination folder is active. It's a int, status is varchar 50. So I'm just saying disabled to is active. Okay, is active. 0 means inactive.
My
Okay,
screen is pass or what?
oh, sorry. Okay, are you able to see now?
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
So see here, create table metadata source folder destination is active status. So previously we have disabled. So likewise we have right disabled. Now I am just marking it as a inactive. Okay, to understand easily. If the value is 0, it's a active table. If the value is 1, it's a inactive folder. So these are the folders, right? So folders names also we need to change, because you remember we have created a cust1 folder. So that particular folder in output side, it should be cust1. Yeah, let it be cust1 folder itself. Okay. So if it is a cust2, in data lake storage also I want to create a cust2 only. Okay. If I have here cust3, this should be the cust3. If I have cust4 here, this should be the cust4. If it is a cust5, it should be cust5. Now this is inactive, because cust5 is not there. That's why I'm just marking it as a inactive. Now will my pipeline will fail or not? Because my pipeline will not fail, because this particular cust5 folder is not available. Still my pipeline will not fail. The reason is I'm going to filter out all the inactive records. Okay, all inactive records I will ignore. I will not process. Where you are going to do? Where you will ignore this inactive records by using lookup activity. Okay, remember. So this is what I want to create. Let's create this. Check one more time. Cust1, cust1, cust2, cust2. Everything is fine. Run it. Okay, 5 rows affected. Okay, let's create the stored procedure now. Let's create the stored procedure now. Come here. Let's take this. Put it here. Create procedure metadata underscore USP status. It's a, let's say it's a folder name. No, it's what is that? What is that one? Let's say 1 second. So let it be, because we need to take some kind of reference points from here, right? So this is my stored procedure. Take the stored procedure and put it here. Now you see, create procedure metadata underscore USP status, and I need to pass the status, and I need to pass the source folder information. So instead of table name, I will say it's a source folder. Come here, I need to say update metadata. I need to update the status where source folder equal to @source folder. And okay, next I want to update metadata, set status to ready, where not exist, select star from metadata, where status is, you simply say where status not equal to success and is active should be 0. You understood? Because I don't want to consider inactive flags. Even if it is ready or success, doesn't matter. If all the active flags status is success, then I need to reset this status to ready. You understood? This particular table always will be ready, because this table, this particular folder, we are not processing. But remaining 4 folders we are going to process. If any of these 4 folders got failed, processing for any of these particular folders got failed, then in next run it is going to pick only that particular folders, and it will process the data. In case if all these folders successfully loaded into our destination, thus the status for these 4 tables will be reset to ready. Understood? That's why I'm just filtering out with the is active as well. Okay, I hope you are clear. Clear, friends, or any doubts? Ramu clear? Chaitanya, Avinash? Manohar, Pavan, Ramesh, Ratnaraj. Let me just create this. Oh, shit. Let's create this stored procedure. Run it. Is active, invalid column name is active. Oh. inactive. So we put inactive. Column name is inactive. Okay, let's say. Yes, it is successfully executed. It is successfully executed. Fine. So now everything is ready, right? Let's go to the Azure Data Factory. Go to linked service. Click a new linked service. First, we need to connect to the Azure keyword, right? Azure keyword. Let's connect to the AKB keywords. Let's create a linked service to your keyword. I did not store the key secrets. Don't worry, I will tell you. So these are the like subscription. This is keyword name. Test the connection. Connection is successfully completed. Now let's publish this. By the time it is published, let's see what all things we need when we want to connect to the file system. See, file system. This is the file system. You need to connect to the file system. Click continue. So this is ls file system. Okay. So you need to say linked service for file. This is what type of IR. It's a cloud Pandit self-hosted IR. Host name is c:/. You remember it should be a cloud Pandit. Root folder. In C drive, I have a root folder called cloud Pandit. Next, username. What is the username? Username is Windows credentials. Windows machine you logged in, right? That is the username. Password. Password you can hard code it. Let me just hard code it and show you. Is it working or not? Okay, let's test the connection. Connection successful. You understood? I'm able to connect to my on-premise file system. That is Cloud Pandit folder. I'm able to access it. But this password, I don't want to read it like this. I want to reference it from the Azure keyword. I need to read it from the keyword. That's how I need to secure. So first go to Azure keyword. Go to resource. Click on secrets. Click generate/import. So manual name of my secret is, you can say, file system fs password. Fs is nothing but a file system password. File system password I'm just putting it here. Okay, create it. Generate/import. Now I need to say ADLS key. ADLS. I need to put the ADLS key. Come to here. Click on access keys. You know, connection string will not take. That's why you need to put only key in a Azure key. Let's put the Azure key here. Click create. Now click generate/import. Finally, we need to put the SQLDB connection string. SQLDB connection string I need to put. For that, go to SQLDB. Where is that SQLDB? SQLDB. Go to connection strings. Take this. Okay. In this, what you need to replace, you just have to replace the I'll just replace the password. Okay, here I need to replace the password. Let me just I replaced the password, friends. Now come here, go to Azure keyword. Here, let me just put the connection string and create it. Okay, so all the required information we put it in our keyword. Now, first thing is file system password, FS password. Take FS password. Come here, come to Azure Data Factory. Azure keyword reference. This is the Azure keyword. Secret name is this, and let's test the connection. Connection successful. You can create it. Okay, next. Next service, our destination is data lake storage Gen2, okay, ADLS Gen2. We continue. This is, you can say, LS for ADLS Gen2. By using auto resolve integration runtime, so by using account key, I'm going to connect. So let's enter manually. Storage account key, I need to get it from the link, this keyword. Okay, what is the secret name? Secret name, go here again. ADLS key is your secret name. Come here, put it here. Now you need to form the URL. You need to get the account name. Account name is this. Take the account name. Come to data factory here. https://account name dot dfs dot code dot windows dot net slash. Let's test the connection. So I wanted to show you one thing. Let's select the Cloud Pandit self-hosted IR, test the connection. What we have observed, friends? By using self-hosted IR, what you have observed here? You might have observed one thing, right? So self-hosted IR is working with both the things. Whether you are connecting to on-premise, whether you are connecting to cloud, meaning public and private storages, you are able to access with the self-hosted IR. I hope you are clear on this, right? Now you can create it. Let's click new. What is the SQL database? Azure SQL database. Click continue. This is LS for Azure SQL DB. So you have to be there till end of today's session because there are a lot of important concepts that we are going to discuss. People will ask in interview for sure. So if you're not able to answer these questions, they think that you are not working. Okay, so there are real-time scenarios that I'm going to cover. Those are very important. Okay, so please be there. So anyhow, today Saturday, that's why I have picked this particular concept today. It will take more time for sure, but you need to understand all the concepts. Okay, fine. So I don't want to enter anything manually, right? I need to reference from keyword directly. So this is the one. Secret name, you go to here, get the SQL DB connection string and put that connection string here and test the connection. Connection successful, you can create it. Now come to author tab. Okay, let's create a pipeline. PL underscore data from file system to ADLS. Then click here. First activity is what, friends? Lookup activity. Why we are using lookup activity? To read our metadata. Okay. Settings. Click new. So first thing is cancel. You uncheck this because we need all the records. We are not reading only one record, right? So it will just get one record if you select this. Click new. So where is our metadata? Our metadata information is available in SQL database. SQL database. Click continue. This is DS for Azure SQL DB. It's a lookup. Use this. Then table name. So table name, I don't want to select metadata table name. So I have table, but I don't want to select table name. I want to fire a query here. That query is something like this. So now you see first select star from metadata. So it is going to give everything. It is going to give everything. You check it. It is going to give everything irrespective of whether it's a inactive or not. If it is one, it's a inactive. Okay. So you need to say where inactive equal to 0. I need only records where inactive equal to 0. Okay, so I'm getting 4. If the status is success, I don't want to pick those things. Now I need to put one more condition, and status not equal to success. If the status is not equal to success, only pick those particular files. Now you see preview data, you will get those 4. The reason is all the status is not success for all these things. Status is ready now. Okay. Now you pass it to the for each. Is this clear? This activity is clear to all of you? I'm not sure whether we will come back to this particular situation again. Okay, because we may not discuss this multiple tables or files copy again and again. So I think this is our last session on multiple things. But so that's why I want everybody confirmation. Everybody understood what I have done in this lookup activity. Fine. So this lookup activity to debug and check the result. Let's debug. What is our item? We'll see what are the different items we got in our lookup activity. So these are the items, right? So we need to say activity of lookup activity output dot value, then we will get all these items. So all these items I'm going to pass it. See, this is one item, this is another item, this is another item, something like that, right? So now close this. So you can pass output of lookup to the for each. Click on this for each item. So come to settings. So let's execute it sequentially for now. First time items. Items is this lookup activity output dot value. So something like this. Yes, so file system and it's a generic. The reason for generic is same thing we will use in our copy activity. Lookup linked service is this one. We already connected. So here I need to pass the like my folder name, my subfolder name, cust1, cust2 dynamically. So that particular thing I will do it with the help of my dataset parameter. Click OK for now. Now go to your dataset. Let's create a parameter. S folder name. You do one thing, otherwise source fn, source folder name. Come here. Let's select that folder name. Okay, come here. I just wanted to pass that. Okay. Come here. Let's say the right item dot cr. So what I need to pass here, source folder isn't it? And source folder I need to pass. Click add dynamic content. This particular get metadata activity will get items from for each. Click on for each. On these items, I want only one information, that is source folder name. I want to pass it. And this, what you want to do with this, you want to check your child items or you want to check existence. You just want to check existence. This result. So let's check as of here. Let me just debug and check what is the result you are getting. Let's check how many items for each has received. For each received only 4 items. The reason is one folder is inactive, the cust1. So cust1 results it is going to give soon. The problem if we go with the sequential, it is taking quite long time. Fine. See here, it's a true. The reason is that folder is existed. Next, come here, click here. You see, next your passing the cust2. Cust2 result has not come yet, but you see now, refresh it, you will get it. Yeah, it's finished. Get metadata 2, you see the result, it's true. This is also available, cust2. Cust3 available or not? Yes, true, it's available. Execute it. Let's see now. They have fourth folder. This folder also true. Now I will go back to the database. I'm going to do something else. Now you see what I'm going to do. I'll just do something like this. I will insert one more record. I will insert one more record, something like cust6. And this is cust6. This is 0 and ready. Understood it? I'm not saying it's a cust6 is inactive. It's a active. You understood? Now I'm just debugging once again. Can you tell me how many times get metadata activity is going to execute? You need to be quick. Tell me how many times get metadata activity is going to execute. Huh? How many times, friends? Venkat sir, how many times, sir?
Sir,
One time.
Huh?
One time, because already the other things are already existing.
It is going to execute 5 times, friends. I don't know what you are understanding. Lookup activity will get 5 items. Those 5 items for each will get, see 5 items it received, and 5 times get metadata executes. Now here you see the your cust6 folder is not available, so the result of existence, it will get the false. Result you got here is false. So meaning, even though you are saying some folder is active, okay, but when I have verified that folder is not available in my source set, this time my pipeline is not going to fail because I'm handling this scenario as well. I'm handling this scenario as well. Go inside for each, there's a get metadata activity. Now I want to execute if activity. I want to execute if activity. You know why I am going to use if activity? Just to bring if condition. Pass the get metadata output to the if activity. So here you need to say condition I need to pass. What is the condition? Just you say get metadata output dot existence. Output dot exists. Exist parameter. If exist parameter returns true, then true activities will execute. If get metadata activity exist parameter returns false, false activities will execute. Go inside true. If it is true means folder is available, just use copy activity to copy data from on-premise file system to the Edge data lake storage Gen2. So same generic one will work here. So here I need to pass item. You need to say item dot source folder. Oh, shit. Here you need to say item name, right? Item name is source folder. What is our sync? Sync is my data lake storage Gen2. Let's create a data set for data lake storage Gen2. Continue. As the CSV files I'm loading. Continue. This is a DS for ADLS Gen2. Gen2 sync. File system like linked services. This I want to say with write with headers. So this should be something like this inside Cloud Pandit. Here also Cloud Pandit output something like this. We'll have a main container. Inside that I want to create these sub containers. Okay. So these sub containers like subfolder should be the one which I am passing. Okay, I'll just pass it here. Otherwise, what titles you can do? See here, it's this folder is not available. That's why you cannot input schema. Click none. Now go into your sync data set. Let's create a data set parameter. This is, you can say, sync file name. Come to connection. Here you need to pass the sync file. Click finish. Okay, now come to this pipeline. Select this. So here you need to pass your sync file name. @item dot sync file name is destination. Just to pass it destination. So everything is done, but source side you are just passing the folder name. In a folder you may have a multiple files as well. So you need to say wildcard file path star. Okay, now. So if it is succeeded against that particular table, you need to say that particular folder, you need to say status has succeeded. Okay, stored procedure. Come here. This is what success SP. Okay, success stored procedure. So in success stored procedure, where you have this success stored procedure in SQL DB, this which stored procedure is this. This is the stored procedure metadata underscore USB. Click import parameters. What are the parameters we have? Two parameters, success and the source folder name. Source folder name you need to get it something like this @item dot source folder name. You will get it source folder name. Status is you just hard code it. It's a success, right? You simply say success. Now just to clone this. This is basically I will use for the failure. So go here and change the name to failure stored procedure. Come to settings. Same like source table name you need to pass it. The status you need to send it here as failure. Okay. Now we have done almost everything is completed.
Change to failure connection.
Huh?
Connection change failure, sir. Connection green mark is.
Second one, sir. Second
Thank
clone.
you. Yesterday also we made same mistake. Yes. Thank you. Right. The relation you need to say if it is copy activities failed, then we need to execute failure. If this is succeeded, we need to execute success total. Thank you, Manohar. Yesterday also I forgot something. Okay, fine. Now we need to create the trigger. Okay, because we know this is going to work for sure. I am very confident. Let's create a trigger. Okay, otherwise, let's do first. Let's debug it. First thing is let's publish. Once you publish, instead of debugging, let's publish it. Okay. First, once you publish, so I will do triggering schedule trigger. We can able to create it. That's not a big deal, right? So we know everybody know that. But let's trigger it now. Okay. So manual trigger we will do. Okay. How to do manual trigger? Add trigger. Trigger now. Click OK. Come to monitor tab. We'll see what is happening. Each and everything we will check. Pipeline start executing. Go inside this pipeline. See, lookup has finished. Lookup will give total. See, count is 5. So it will cust 1, cust 2, cust 3, cust 4, cust 5 will it will not give. The problem is cust 5 is inactive. It will give again cust 6, but cust 6 folder is not available. So that for that particular folder, get metadata return false. If it is a false, we are not doing anything. We are not trying to copy data. So first you check one by one. Anyhow, we are copying. So first table is cust1. This cust1 returned. So it is saying true. This table, this folder is available. If activity evaluates to true, that's why copy activity is finished. It copied how many files? Only one file. The reason is in cust1 folder we have only one file. In cust2 folder also we have only one. You see, this is a cust2, and it is returned true. If condition evaluates true, so that's why copy activity is executing. In copy activity you can check copy activity is finished here, and it is executing success stored. So go here and check. It is also copied one file. Now meanwhile, let's go here and let's select our metadata. What is the status of each folder? You can see only some of the folders succeeded. See, for some like these two folders, we have seen first one, first two already succeeded. That's why status is success. Now refresh this. Okay, let's see which table this is. This is basically for first four. First four also it should be true only. It's written to true. Now copy activity should pick. Yes, copy activity is executing. Which like this is a it's a first four. You remember, so in first four folder we have two files. See, files read is two, files written is two. Okay, fine. Finally, we have a cust6 folder. This cust6 folder, you check cust6 folder. This is a cust6. It will get the false. You got the false. That's why if your activity is succeeded, but it's ended with evaluates to false. If it is false, we are not doing anything. Okay. Now come back to get metadata activity. Just say select star from metadata and run it. Okay. Now my question is, if I run my pipeline, how many items will process? First tell me how many items my lookup will read. How many items my lookup will read?
It will read all the items from the tables, both active and deactive. Hello?
Will read S6.
Friends, whoever understood, please. Pawan, tell me, friends. Pawan, tell me how many items will read?
One item, cust6.
Only, yeah, one item.
Only one item, Manohar. Right. Remember, our lookup will read only one item. So because in our lookup, we are firing a query. That query is going to check table should not be success state, meaning all these four items it will not read. There itself filter, it will filter out. Second condition says inactive flag should not be one. If the inactive flag is one, I don't want to read. Okay, that's why these four items plus this item will be filtered out there itself. Let's go to our lookup. See here what I'm saying here. Oh, sorry. Let's go to author tab. Click on here. What is lookup query I'm firing here? Select a star from metadata where inactive equal to 0. How many inactive equal to 0 records? We have 5. This is already filtered out. Next, after that there is an end. And status should not be success. Status should not be success. So status is success for all these four things. So status is not success for only these. So you will get only cust6. And it will try to process cust6 only now, because that is the one which you have not processed now. Maybe because that folder is not available, maybe this got failed in previous run, whatever reason may be, because of that it is not going to process all the folders. It will process only cust6 folder. Now you just click preview data. Here itself you will understand. You need to practice, and simply if you come you will not be able to understand, because every day you will have a dependency. So this is the cust6, this is the cust6. It says status is ready, is inactive is 0. So you'll get only one item. Even if you process this item now, what will happen? Nothing is going to happen, because for each will receive only one item. That item it will send it to the get metadata. Again, get metadata will says this folder is not available. Okay, if this folder is not available, false activity will execute, false condition will execute. In this false condition, I will say status, I will mark it as a false, failed. Okay, see here. This time I'm going to run, but you know, get metadata activity returns false. If it is a false, so false activities will execute. In false activities, I'm executing stored procedure. The stored procedure I will say false stored procedure. I will say here false stored procedure will execute. Come to settings. So this is a get metadata, import these parameters. So here I will say is source folder name is @item dot this folder. Status I will mark it as a failed. Okay, now I will debug or run, doesn't matter, but now you know it is going to execute and it is going to pick only one table. Let's see that. So now what will happen, that one table, one item, it will pass it to the for each. So you see for each received only one item. Item count is only one. You have seen that. Next you see get metadata, it will return false. Okay, if it is a false, see false stored procedure executed. What false stored procedure will do, it will modify the status from ready to failed. Okay, let's see that now. Let's check select star from metadata. See, status is failed for cust6. You understood, status is failed for cust6. Now what I will do, go to on-premise, that is file system, come here. So now let's imagine I'm going to create a folder now, that is cust6. In this cust6, okay, whether you have files or you don't have files doesn't matter, but I'll just go here and I will take some file. That is, we have a cust6 file here, cust6.csv file I will take and I will put it here. Okay, but now you see in cust3 you have only one file. I just moved the cust6 file into the cust6 folder. Okay, but now what will happen, only this file will be loaded into my target when I run the pipeline. Is this clear? Now what will happen, when I run this particular pipeline, it will pick the file from the cust6 folder and it will load it into the data lake storage Gen2. Once it is loaded, it will update the status to success. When all these five records are success state, will my status reset it to ready or not? Manohar or Pawan, tell me friends, will my
Ready
state
only, sir.
Okay, my status will be resetted back to ready from the success, because all the active folders I loaded successfully, so status will be resetted back to ready. We'll see that. Now let's click debug itself. Okay, if you do like trigger and all those things will take some time, a lot of things needs to cover again. Only one file will process. Now you see item is only one it received. See, it like get metadata returned true, that's why it is executing the copy activity. You check it here. This is the cust6 folder. For this, what you got here, like it's a value is true, that's why it is executing copy activity. Copy activity is finished and success stored procedure also executing. Okay, success stored procedure executing. If success stored procedure is executed successfully, now you come back and check the select star from metadata. Status is resetted back to ready now because all the folders are processed successfully. Okay friends, fine. Now come here. Okay, so whatever you have just
Sir, I have small doubt, sir. Venkat
tell
here,
me.
sir. Sir, during this copy process, if the file was opened by someone, what will happen, sir? Whether it will process that file or it will wait until that file was closed, what will happen, sir?
We'll see that. I also did not check, but I don't think if somebody opened the file, there will be some issue. There won't be any issue. Just open this file. Okay, I just open this file. Okay, I'm just going to rerun my pipeline now. We'll see. Add trigger now. Click OK. Come to monitor tab. So let's meanwhile, I think it is going to run, right? Go inside this pipeline. It is going to execute the activities. Yes, it is going to execute the activities one by one. Meanwhile, I just wanted to show you whether previous run files came into data lake storage Gen2 or not. You can check it. Since inside this folder you have a subfolder cust1 to cust6. Cust5 will not come. Okay, cust6. It has cust6. Okay. Fine. Now come to data factory. The pipeline got succeeded. Okay, everything is finished, I think. Okay, now you see, I think everything is got succeeded. Still executing. Fine, let it execute. But we need to focus on cust6 only because we just opened cust6 file. The cust2 itself. Let's change it to the batch count because if we go with sequential, it will take more time. Cust3. This is what? This is cust4. So cust4 also finished. So I think this is cust6. No, cust4 only. Fine. So now it is going to process cust6 folder. See cust6. Yes, it's cust6. It's true. And now copy activity is going to execute. We'll see it is going to what it is going to see cust6 like copy activity also succeeded. Okay, whether you have see cust6 copy activity also succeeded. So there won't be any issues if somebody opened it. Okay, sir. Clear?
Thank you.
No problem. Fine. Now, so in real time, right? So the important question is how you will get to know all folders got the files or not. Okay. So for that, there is a scenario. That scenario we need to cover now. You see, we have this pipeline. Let's create a master pipeline. This is a master pipeline. Okay, master pipeline. In this master pipeline, you see what I'm going to do. I'll just say, fine. So in this master pipeline, I'm going to use something called validation activity. This validation activity is going to do. See, let me just explain the scenario first thing. The scenario is very simple. I have a cust1, cust2, cust3, cust4, cust6 folders. How I will know all these folders data came from the source? Maybe only few folders got the file at the time when you are running the pipeline. Maybe you schedule pipeline at 4 o'clock. At that time, only 2 folders got the files and 2 more files did not get the files. But now what happens? You simply copying, status will be succeeded, folder is existed, right? So how you will come to know is every time whenever client is loaded data into respective folders, if all folders is completed, client will upload some success file into some folder. Okay, some success folder. You need to use this validation activity to check whether that success file came or not. Even though I schedule my pipeline at 4 o'clock, from 4 o'clock onwards, you are keep on checking for the success file. When you see success file, then you need to start your pipeline. Then you got a confirmation that okay, all folders are refreshed, all folders got the new data. Now you start copying the data. How many of you understood this scenario, friends? This is the real-time scenario that every project people will ask. Okay, in the interview also, with this one question, people will select you. Okay, this guy is exactly working with our scenario, our requirement, something like that. Okay, because I have seen.
Malaya, is it kind of indicator file?
Indicator, yes, validation file. Indication
Okay.
file. You can call it as indication or whatever. It's just a
Yeah.
confirm that all folders are refreshed.
Okay, understood.
Okay, come to settings. So just validation activity, create a data set. Okay, it should be a separate data set. Okay. So data set is basically, it is going to look at the file system. Maybe it can be any type of file. Let's go with the success CSV file. Here you see this is a DS validation.
Malaya, by file head count we'll get to know, right?
File.
If the total files 10 is there, we can verify from sync side also 10 it will come, it will be validate, right?
Not that validation. When you need to start copying, so you should not do inconsistent copy. Example, 2 folders loaded data, today data, and 2 folders is having yesterday data. So you will start, if you're running the pipeline at that time, you are just going to get a new data only for 2 folders, and remaining 2 folders you will not get the new data. To avoid that, client is going to put some success file. When you see that success file, then you need to start copying the data.
Okay.
First as header. So this folder should be there, success folder. In that, I should have a success.csv file. When I see this success.csv file, then only I need to proceed. Okay. You know, you don't have this folder, so you need to click none. Cannot import schema. Yeah, this is done. So first we will see how this is going to work. So once you see how this is going to work, then we can go and do the actual pipeline. We will see here in settings. In settings, not settings. Go inside data set. Okay. This is the success underscore CSV. This is the success file. Not able to see some of these things. Let's execute this debug. Just to give a minute. That's okay. Now you see this validation activity, what it is doing, friend? It is keep on waiting because there is no success folder, there is no success.csv file. Now you see it is just keep on running. The time you have mentioned here timeout, right? So timeout is 7 days. So it is going to keep on waiting like for 7 days. So meanwhile, like okay, maybe our client side process is happened. Now client will say he will create a success folder here. Inside that he will place a success.csv file. Let's say here I will say it as success. Okay. Inside this Let's imagine this file, you no need to have any data in this success.csv file. Okay, I will just rename it as a success. Okay, now you see I just placed this. Okay, you just check 1 or 2 times if you want. Success.csv is this. This is the success. Okay, now come here. Let's see, now this validation activity should return true. True means this is going to be successful now. See, it is succeeded. You understood? This is succeeded. Okay. So now what we were trying to do by using this validation activities, we are just checking for that particular. See, the timeout is 7 days. It will just keep on running for 7 days. If it is fine, if it is that particular folder and file is existed within the 7 days, this particular validation activity existence, it will return true. That particular folder and everything is available. That's why it will return true. Okay, you understood? Again, I will run it immediately. It will finish because that is available, right? That is available. That's why it is going to immediately succeed now. It will not take much time. It will just succeed immediately. Now you see. See, succeeded. The reason is that folder and file is already available. Okay, now I will run the pipeline. Execute pipeline activity you need to use. So once that success file, whenever I see success file, then I need to run my pipeline. Okay, those are my pipeline I want to run. Okay, next, once I run it, I need to use the delete activity. You understood why I need to use delete activity? Can you tell me? Because client has placed a success file today run. For today run, he has placed a success file. Now what happened? Okay, you have seen that success file and you are rerunning the pipeline. You are rerunning the pipeline and you will get the new data into your destination. Then you need to remove that success file because client will replace new success file. Tomorrow client will place new file again. So, but you should not keep that success file again. The reason is if you put same success file, if you keep on maintaining, when you rerun again, validation activity will say, okay, your already new data is came. So how you will know new data came or not? Client is going to replace once he placed the success file. It indicates you can start copying data from source to destination. You start copying data from source to destination. Once that the copying data from source to destination is finished, then you need to delete the success file. For that, use delete activity. Come here. So create a same data set you can use, basically validation data set. In this data set, I want to delete wildcard file path. So just say file path in data set. You don't need to change anything. So I just have to delete that particular file. Okay, enable logging. I don't want logs. We have seen enable logs. It will give you which file is deleted, deletion status, everything it will show, right? So I'm just deleting the file. What file? So go inside this data set. You can see file is success.csv will be deleted. Now you see, come to master pipeline. You just publish all. Go to your automation. Go inside this success folder. Let's delete or let's rename this one. Okay, just to show you the scenario, right? I will just rename it 1.csv, something like this. Okay. Now come to here. Let me just refresh this. I think some pop-up is come. It is not going. Let's refresh this page. Okay, now you see you can just trigger now, but validation activity it will keep on waiting to tell you when this particular files got refreshed with new data. So when client places that success file, then it indicates that okay, you got the new file. Even though you schedule the pipeline, your pipeline is going to keep on waiting at the validation activity itself. You understood? Let's go to monitor tab and see whether it's a manual trigger, whether it's a whatever trigger. Go inside this. See, validation activity, it will keep on running. Okay, your pipeline will not execute until your success file comes, right? So what you need to do, go inside this, let's rename this as a success. This is one of the like very important scenario. Okay, now you see, refresh this success file we place, right? It will finish within very soon. It will finish success status. It will give. See, it has given success status, and now your execute pipeline will execute. See, your execute pipeline activity triggered the another pipeline. It will start executing. That is your new pipeline, right? You have another pipeline. So you know it will take some time. Again, the reason is we were loading all these files sequentially, not a batch. Please practice, friends, because without practicing it is difficult. So syllabus will cover, but you need to practice. Without practicing, you will not be able to understand. So execute pipeline one. So basically, it is going to execute your activities. Come back to all pipelines. You see, master pipeline will call this pipeline. Master pipeline will call this pipeline. You go to trigger. See, this is triggered by another pipeline. That's why you got this some like value. Okay, not a manual trigger or something. It's a this particular pipeline is triggered by this master pipeline. You see this master pipeline ID. It will be there here. That is not an ID. It's a separate trigger ID. It says trigger ID is there here. Manual trigger. Once this is finished, finally our delete activity will execute in master pipeline, and that will execute. That what it will do, it will delete the success file. Okay, we'll see whether it is deleting the success file or not. Okay, this is all okay, but the delete file will delete all those things. Okay, now my second question is, let's imagine now I have created this schedule trigger to run at 9 o'clock. When I start running my pipeline at 9 o'clock, what will happen? So I'm not keeping my success file. What will happen? Will my process will execute, or what is going to happen? My pipeline will keep on waiting at the validation activity itself. Client has placed a successful at 9:30. Then our pipeline will start executing at 9:30, but validation activity will keep on checking for your file, every okay. See what it will do in validation activity. We have a sleep. Okay, let me just show you that sleep. What it means, it will go and check one time, and it will sleep for 10 seconds. Again, it will go and check. It will wait for see 10 sleep 10 seconds means it will go and check one time. It will sleep for 10 seconds. Again, it will go and check. It will sleep for 10 seconds. So these are costly because every time your process is happening, every time it is going to check some computational service. It will consume like it will be chargeable, friends. It will like you need to make a lot of payment. Validation means it's costly activity. Okay, remember. See, now everything is finished. Go to master pipeline. Master pipeline has also succeeded. What it means? Delete activity also succeeded. Now go back to your VM. See, inside success, you don't have success.csv file is gone. That is gone. Go inside this. So you don't have success.csv file. It's gone. Now when you run it again, validation activity keep on waiting until next day client plays the success.csv file. Okay, understood? Everybody understood, friends?
Yes, Malaya. Malaya, I have already asked,
sir.
right? I have question. What is the question means? We have 5 folders. We are copying from source to destination. So in these 5 folders, we have 100 files. How can you verify these 100 files are copying to destination side or not? Whether it is copying 90 or 80, we don't know, right? But it will copy ultimately 100 files. How can we verify 100 files are copied or not?
Can somebody answer, friends? I don't know what you people are not able to pick up all those things. Just now I have shown you. From this also you can able to understand.
Success file is okay, but whenever the client plays on
Go inside this pipeline. You already see everything is covered, friends. Only thing is you need to practice. When you practice, you will come to know. Now, if I say, yeah, this is how you can do, you'll say. See, in copy activity, when you copy some files from source to destination, you will get the count. These files read and files written, you check it. And when both are matching, no issue, right? From each folder.
But we have to see every copy activity, right? That's why I'm asking entire total outlook like that. I'm asking.
Morally, this scenario already covered. Like after copy activity, we can use if activity there. We are using like read file, file read and file read.
Let me explain him. Manohar. See, can you tell me how you will get to know? If you're not looking at each folder, then how you will get to know? It is not possible. See, you are saying I don't want to open the file, but I want to read the data which is there in your file. It is not possible. So in the same way, you are going into you need to go into each folder and pick the folders. That number of files which you have in each folder, you need to count. So then only you will get the summary. How many files you have total in all these 5 folders? You are saying I don't want individual. Then if you're not counting individual, how you will get total? If you want, you need to summarize all those things. Once you get it into your see, ultimately you need to understand. You are not understand the concept. You are, let's say, in a folder you have 5 files. In this particular folder, out of 5, you are just loading 4, means there is a issue with that particular folder. Why you need to understand all the folders issue? You need to understand the issue with each folder independently. So that is the easy to debug, right? Let's say you are understanding overall. Okay, I have five folders. In these, I have 80 files. I am copying, but I am not getting 80 files. I am getting 78 files. Now, what is your debug steps? You need to check all the folders. Why you need to check all the folders? We have a very clear description. So each folder level, you get the file count. If the file count is not matching for each folder level, you just go and check in that particular folder instead of checking all the folders. You got it now?
Yeah, Malaya. But in our other application side, we'll give some count and we'll verify whether the total count is not. That's why I'm thinking that side.
That is not possible, I'm saying.
Okay, I understood. Wherever the folder is not file is not copy, we'll go to that particular folder. We can verify why it's failed. Like that, we have to see here.
Also, for debugging also it is easy, but in your scenario it is not possible, right? So if in real time only not 5 folders, you'll have hundreds of folders. So if your overall folders like overall file count you are checking, okay, source side client has placed 500, so I just got 499, one file is missing. You cannot go and check in each folder. It is difficult. That's why we need to do this validation in a folder level.
Yeah, understood.
Okay, so one thing I need to do finally, just wait, friends. Okay, so I'm just going to trigger my pipeline with a schedule trigger. Okay, now the time is, just give me 2 more minutes. We finished almost. Now the time is 8:57. What is the seconds? Okay, I will schedule my pipeline at 8:59. Say India time means you just type it here, Chennai, you will get it. Chennai, Kolkata. Okay, so every 15 minutes I want to run, no, daily once. Okay, daily. Next, we have discussed in different timings in a same day. If you want to execute, you can execute. Specify end date. So end date, I will let it be same whatever came here. Click OK. Then I will just publish. See, yeah. Just click publish, it will publish. Now come to data lake storage here. You see in data lake storage that I just deleted all the subfolders. This is a root folder, but you can delete root folder also. See all subfolders I deleted. Now my question is, I'm not going to do anything. My pipeline is going to start at 8:59, that you understood now. But will it start copying data or not? Is something I need to do extra to start copying files from on-premise file system to the data lake storage Gen2? Do I need to do something else, or if I schedule pipeline, this pipeline like will run and copy files from on-premise to the cloud?
It will check
Venkat,
validation activity whether success file is there or not.
yeah, Manohar, just wait, because let me understand other people how they. Venkat sir, can you tell me what else I need to do here? See, my pipeline is going to start executing at 8:59, so it is already started executing. Let's go inside master pipeline and check. It is on waiting at validation activity. What I need to do now? Bharat, can you tell me, Bharat, what I need to do now?
We have to add the success file, Malaya, then only it will start.
Thank you. So I hope everybody understood, right? So validation activity means it is going to wait for the success file. Okay. So every 10 seconds it will go and check for the success file. Okay. Now I will go and see. If you wait for 5 more minutes or whatever time, it will keep on checking. See, 8 seconds. It will check once again. It will check. It will verify again. Okay. Something like every 10 seconds it will go and check whether success file is available or not. You refresh this. It is keep on waiting. Okay, now I will go inside here. Just place a success file. Okay, just copy some file from here and rename this success file. Rename this particular file as a success file. So now you see refresh. Okay, within a 10 seconds it will pick. The reason is every 10 seconds it will go and check, right? That's why it will take some 10 seconds to get the result. Maybe it may check immediately after we placed or whatever. I think there is an issue because it is not giving any results yet. We need to check what is happened. Let's go here whether I have given proper name or not to check.
File name .csv.
Success. Oh, we should not give .csv. It's a CSV file simply. The success, you just have to give the success. That is the reason. You understood. If you place any other file, it will not success. Okay, now you see. Let's wait first. Now you wait for 10 seconds. 3 seconds already finished. Okay, 5 seconds. 8 seconds. Oh, almost it is finished again. Okay, let's go and check. So what is the spelling mistake or something? Let's go inside validation activity. Let's go inside this. SUCCESS. Correct only. File is correct, but why it is not picking? We'll see. Let's go to monitor tab. Yeah, it is already started. It started. Okay, just now I think it started. Yeah, 1 minute back. We just left, but just given the status as success. Okay. See, validation activity finished, and it is executing the another pipeline. That is nothing but our pipeline which is going to copy the files. Once this is done, it will delete the files. Two more minutes you need to wait. Let's come to data lake storage and check what all folders copied already. Cust1, cust2, cust3 is came, and now two more folders left, right? Cust4 and cust6. Refresh it. I think now it is. You see, cust4 came. We have only one folder left, that is cust6. Now you go and check that success file. Still success file will be there, because the reason is, see, success.csv file is already still available. Once that cust6 folder also copied, then success.csv file will vanish. Okay, we will be here only. Let's keep on checking. That will vanish quickly. Okay.
Malay, it should be like .csv only.
The
Like
CSV file, when you say CSV type, that CSV will come. Success.csv will come automatically. You understood?
yeah. No, like if client by mistake,
That is
client.
I have not deleted. That is gone. Yeah, tell me, Varatna.
No, if client placed by mistake, client placed JSON file, like saying that success.json, will it
Then
work?
it will
Or,
be, client will, so we will have a communication with from the client. They will tell we are going to put some success file every time in a CSV file or JSON file. So
so it should be
simply,
like the same type of file.
what?
It should be like the same kind of file, right? Like
Yes,
a
yes,
.csv
same
or
type of file. We will have a communication from the client to what type of file they are going to place. Okay,
okay.
kind of issue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay, clear, friends. Everybody is clear. Okay, let me just stop the recording.